I am still very much a fan of the Lost Zone version of Goodra. I still argue that overall, I think it is the better of the two decks. However, this was a perfect example of one of the things that makes this particular build of Art Goodra amazing. At Salt Lake City Regionals, Hale Obernolte won the whole thing with a deck that no one saw coming. It wasn't Giratina V-STAR, it wasn't Palkia V-STAR, it wasn't Kyurem V-Max. It was Goodra V-STAR with Arceus V-STAR as well. And today, we're going to go and talk about this deck and what makes it so special. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and before we start, just very quickly, quick plug for my Extra Life Marathon. We are fundraising in support of the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals with a 24-hour marathon on my Twitch channel. Link and info on the screen here. If you'd like to make a donation, you can do so with the link on the screen here or in the description of the video. And if you donate at one of the 3 reward tiers, you can get some cool rewards, including prints of my spray paint art, as well as a signed Pokemon card from me. All right, let's go and talk about Goodra V-STAR and what makes this deck so cool. So, Goodra V-STAR, 270 HP. It's got the move Rolling Iron, which does 200 damage. And during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks, making it a lot tankier than its 270 would make it out to be. And it also has the ability Moisture Star, where during your turn, you just get to heal all the damage from Goodra V-STAR. Now, you're probably not going to use Moisture Star most of the time in this build because this has Arceus, and you're almost always going to want to start with Arceus. That's why we've got 4 Arceus V in the deck, and you're going to use Trinity Nova to do 180 damage most of the time with the double turbo energy, and you will Starbirth to grab the cards you need to get set up. And hopefully by the end of the second turn, you've got Arceus swinging for 180, you've got Goodra now fully charged up, and then Goodra for the rest of the game is just trying to tank hits. Helping out in tanking hits is Radiant Gardevoir as well, which makes the Pokemon in the active take 20 less damage from Pokemon V. Very handy card to have. And then from there, they've also got 2 Evo Incense to help find your evolution Pokemon. One of the coolest innovations in this deck, 4 Hyper Potion. Up until this point, we'd seen like 2 Hyper Potion, but Hale leaned all the way in on the Hyper Potions so that you can just get rid of the double turbos and put the Hyper Potion on so that you can heal either your Arceus or your Goodra. We've also got 4 Quick Balls, 3 Ultra Balls, 2 Switches, 3 Crystal Caves for more healing, as well as 1 Path to the Peak to shut down abilities such as Palkia V-STAR, Shadow Rider, stuff like that, Mew as well. 1 Avery, which can be very handy in certain matchups, such as the Palkia matchup and the Regigigas to get rid of bench Pokemon. We've got 2 Boss's Orders, and I think the most interesting part of the deck, besides the Hyper Potions, is the Colress experiment, where you look at the top 5 cards, you keep 3, and you discard 2. And what I love about this inclusion is that it makes it way easier to pull off the Hyper Potion play because you're not having to Marnie away your cards or Professor's Research away your cards or Roxanne your cards. We do have those, but throughout the early to mid game, you can just build a giant hand of cards, have all your Hyper Potions ready, have your double turbos ready, and just heal off the damage as it comes in. And I absolutely love this as part of this deck. Also, we've got 3 Melanies for some quick energy acceleration. We've got 1 Research, 1 Roxanne, 1 Big Charm, so that in particular Arceus is a little tankier. 2 Big Parasols. I think that you ideally want 2 so that if you get escaped roped, you can have both your Pokemon give your active and your bench protection. Spoilers, there's 1 instance where I only had 1 and really bad things happened in this video, so you're gonna have to see what happens when you don't have 2 Big Parasol out. And then in terms of energy, we've got 4 double turbos, 4 metal, and 5 water energy. I think that if you are building a Arceus Goodra deck, this is probably the best I've seen yet. I really like this build. Some big challenges though it does not have an answer to Miltank. This will just lose to Miltank. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But that is something to note here as well, because on PTCGO, the spread of decks you will run into versus the spread in online tournaments is probably a little different. You might see a little more Miltank, but if you're okay auto losing that match, this might be the best way to play with Goodra. All right, let's get to these matches. Okay, going first. Let's hope we get an Arceus here. And not the Goodra start. Okay, not ideal. We do get some stuff here. We get the Colress. Maybe we can get a Goodra off the top, and that would be ideal. And our opponent is also playing a Lost Zone deck, or at the very least, they have Colress as a draw support. And there's the Goodra. There's no way they run like a Fan of Waves or anything like that, right? No way. No shot. Okay, so this isn't bad. We just need... Ideally, we hit the Arceus VSTAR off the Colress, and we can figure out the rest from there. Still not entirely sure what they've got. Oh, okay, just Goodra straight up. This is actually a really great test of Arc Goodra versus Goodra straight up. And I put out my Goodra Lost Zone video recently, and it's been interesting to see in the comments. There are already people saying that they prefer the Arceus version, people saying they prefer the Lost Zone version. It's an interesting discussion. I think there are definitely merits to this particular archetype. I think that I love the Hyper Potion and the Colress combo, Colress being able to draw cards and Hyper Potion to tank some more hits. I think time will tell. I think that people are already going to say that this is the better version, the Arceus Goodra. I personally prefer this. I still think that the combination of having more versatile attackers and ways into the game and Moisture Star and stuff like that, I think this is still the better deck. But I feel like in light of where the meta's gone and how these decks have performed in tournament, that people are going to go and weigh the Arceus Goodra deck more highly. But we'll see. I think it's kind of a... Oh my goodness, they're gonna hit 7 cards right off the rip, and now they can Mirage Gate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? It's the... I put myself in an option select here, where if this deck wins, then I can say, you know what, I was right. This deck was better all along. And if I win, I'm just like, yeah, I win. Yep, so here comes. And the Goodra is going to be able to one-hit KO here if they get that set up. Wait, is this still their first turn? First turn, 7 cards? Oh my goodness. This is not good. Oh no. And the escape rope into the Goodra. Oh no. Landing that first hit. That's terrible. So let's go and see what we can pull. We get an Arceus, a Goodra, and a Crystal Cave. Okay. Let's grab some energy here. Let's do some healing, and let's Starbirth, and we're going to go switch. And, oh, do I not? Did I prize both my switches? Nope, there's a switch. And I think we get down the second Goodra, and we charge that up instead of this one, and we'll try and heal this in the background. And I think we still evolve it just to get it up there so it's harder to KO. And do we want the... Parasol doesn't matter just yet. So let's go swing into this Goodra for 150. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3. There's a decent chance that this stadium will stick because this Goodra is going to want it as well. unfortunately, it makes them even tankier. So what we're going to need is some Hyper Potion plays here. Thankfully, they're not going to knock us out here. They might still Moisture Star and just erase all of this damage. But they can tank a hit here. We can't knock out this Goodra next turn. So they do have time. I think for us to win, we have to heal this Goodra. Okay, let's see how they go about this. They can just swing, like doing 200, 220, and then I do less damage. Then they do their Moisture Star stuff. Hopefully we can get a Hyper Potion and a Hyper Potion and a double turbo off this next attack. Okay, we do get another Colress. Let's go and heal. And we'll evolve. And before we commit to anything else, let's see what we can get. We do get a double turbo. We get an... Oh, we don't need any of this other stuff. Get an Ultra Ball, and we get a Quick Ball. And really, that's just... You know, we can use these to thin our deck, but really, it's not... that doesn't help us much. We'll go swing with the Trinity Nova for 100, and oh, yikes. Okay, I'm going to put the second water energy onto this Goodra. I should have attached a metal here. All right, let's see how they play it. They probably Moisture Star here. And then we get into just the absolute rock fight between the two decks. Oh, they're going to boss up the other Goodra. That's a good play. And they're going to Moisture Star. And they're going to hit. Oof. This is bad. This is really bad. All right. So, our route to winning this game is, can we get some Hyper Potions, please? Boss and sure. Unfortunately, we don't get... We'll put Gardevoir down, and that'll help a little bit, but we don't have... We're still, like, in big trouble here. Because, yeah, we're only doing 120. They're going to do less damage as well, but we don't have Moisture Star. They are setting up for a Greninja play, and I really like that for them. They're going to draw some more cards with Melanie, and that's great for them. I think we Melanie next turn to see if we can try and weasel our way into a Hyper Potion for probably the Arceus. Oh, here we go. They're going to get the second Goodra set up. This is bad. This is bad. How have we gone through 40-something cards and have not seen a single Hyper Potion? The Hyper Potion is the one thing that keeps us in this game. Yeah, losing that first Goodra was really bad. Oof, and they knocked the stadium out too. I respect that. Oof. Okay, that's going to do 130. They're still not knocking us out. That being said... Okay, do we? I think we go here. Hyper Potion. Thank you. Which do we heal? I think we heal... Okay, let's first attach to Goodra. And we'll Hyper Potion this away. Okay, we've got at least one more Hyper Potion play available to us here. Or do we just Hyper Potion... Yeah, let's go grab this. And I think they're going to try and get a Greninja snipe at some point. So do we keep the Hyper Potion for... Okay. I'm going to risk it. We're going to burn another Hyper Potion and get this Arceus down. And that way we are less likely to lose on a Greninja Snipe. Though, this is now more likely for us to lose. So, choices. It's tricky. Now, potentially boss could... I think we have to swing into this Goodra. I think we have to swing into the active Goodra. They are also running out of cards. They might not have enough turns to finish this game. And they have 2 Goodras ready to go. They are going to switch into the fresh one. Okay. Okay. This does kind of work in our favor. Do we get a... I don't think we set up another Pokemon, but we do boss up this other Goodra. And we knock them out. And hopefully... I think they're still going to knock us out. 1, 2... There's the Hyper Potion. Okay. So we can at least keep Arceus alive. Yeah, we can keep Arceus alive on the next turn if that's what it means for us. Let's see. How does this shake out? Because they have only 2 cards left. We do have Hyper Potion in hand. Can we survive? So we can Melanie to draw even more cards. And then we can double turbo, Hyper Potion away this double turbo, and hopefully we stay alive for 1 more turn. And let's grab the metal. I don't actually think I need that, but here we go. We swing. And you know what? We're actually going to attach that to ourselves just in case we come up upon the 4th Hyper Potion here. Or we just retreat into the Gardevoir and we deck them out. That might actually be the play. Although the Greninja is going to be a problem. Because that's going to do 210. I think this is game over unless we can get another Hyper Potion here. Yes! Okay, here we go. Double turbo, Hyper Potion. Get that out of here. We heal again. And let's put the Big Charm on top of that. And we swing. And hopefully we survive. 210, 90. I don't think we do. And they're going to boss up Gardevoir. Actually, I think they lose. I don't think that was the play. No, they just lose. Whoo! And, you know, we get the win. We swing. We take the 2 prizes. And that's it for Goodra VSTAR Lost Zone. And look, I am still very much a fan of the Lost Zone version of Goodra. I still argue that overall, I think it is the better of the 2 decks. However, this was a perfect example of one of the things that makes this particular build of Art Goodra amazing, was the Hyper Potion play. And without the Hyper Potions, we don't get to hang in this match. But because we happen to get all 4 and we're able to pop all 4, we were able to hang on just long enough to survive against an otherwise awesome Goodra Lost Zone deck. So GG's. So the great debate. I mean, it's not really a great debate. I made a video before the end of SLC Regionals talking about which is the better Goodra deck. Is it the Arceus Goodra or the Goodra Lost Zone version? And I still feel a very particular way. I might still make a video comparing and contrasting the two different decks. But my old take is not necessarily as relevant now because the Hale Obernolte version is out now, and they do address some of the issues that I had with the older version of the deck. It does get a lot tankier thanks to the Hyper Potion and the double turbo energy. However, it does run into some fundamental challenges where it's not necessarily great against Mew. The Hyper Potions do help a bit, but you still auto lose to Miltank. And depending on how you play the game and where you play the game, that could be a big problem. And so I think that's absolutely worth noting, that this deck just auto loses to Miltank. It has no answer to that, and it really is going to depend on how important is that to you. Let's go and double water here. Meanwhile, the Lost Zone Goodra deck does have the Cramorant in there, does have the Greninja, and it's not that hard to tech in answers for Miltank if that's something you really want to account for. Versus this deck is you auto lose, or you're trying to squeeze in. You're probably not going to run into just one Miltank for a deck that runs Miltank. So having one answer to Miltank generally isn't enough. You're probably running at least an Aegislash, at which point you're making your starts a little less consistent. Then you have to fish for the Aegislash, and it's not ideal. So it really comes down to what you prioritize and what you're teching for. And I think the thing to keep in mind when you are looking at these deck lists from content creators, particularly for competitive play, is that they are oftentimes tuning these decks for tournaments, IRL tournaments with human beings, where you are playing, at most 16 matches, and versus, the average Joe playing hundreds of matches online against the entire world, where the meta is not the same as it is in tournament. So you have to kind of make some judgment calls on what's important to you and what to tech for. And they have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got the 7. They can potentially, Mirage Gate into energy, into just knocking out this Arceus. But do they have all the pieces to make that happen? And it's not necessarily the end of the world if that happens to us here. They're just going to go into Cram. Okay, that's fine. Now, let's go and evolve to Goodra. And let's see what we can rip off the top of this. All right. I don't necessarily like having to Ultra Ball for... Okay, I'm going to... I want to hold on to Hyper Potion. But I am kind of concerned about the lack of energy in... Okay, I think we get rid of the metal and... I think the double turbo. Arceus VSTAR. And we pop off. We're going to get a Goodra down. And what do we grab? I think we have to grab the umbrella. Yeah, you can stand. We got one umbrella. I don't think we attach it right now. I think we hold that. We hold that information. Oh gosh, we are very short on energy here. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to get that energy back We don't have Training Court. We might be able to find a Melanie somewhere, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all our water energy. All our water. Oh, we have metal energy like around, but I think we've prized like 3 of our metal energy, and that's a big problem. Okay. Maybe we top deck a Melanie here or something. We don't necessarily need... Oh, they've got the Snorlax in here too. Okay, are they going to go straight into the Snorlax to take the single prize? Okay, I respect that. I respect that. Huh. Yeah, they take the single prize KO. That's bad for us. But, hopefully they don't have an answer for Umbrella here. And yeah, Snorlax is actually going to wake up. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Let's go and we'll put the Umbrella up and rip through 5 cards. We do get a Melanie. We do get... I'm going to get Roxanne. And, oh, do we throw 2 Hyper Potions out? I don't think so. Okay, and we Rolling Iron. Hopefully we have still at least 2 more double turbos somewhere. We do get Melanie. That's going to help us out tremendously. Okay, so we can at least battle it out for the rest of the game. We're not going to bench anything else. Hopefully we can get... Oh, here comes the Mirage Gate. Hopefully they don't Star Requiem the other Goodra, because we only have 1 Umbrella right now. But we'll see. That is one of the ways to beat Goodra's Rolling Iron, is to get Goodra out of the active and just either hit something else or bring it in later where you can then do all the damage to it. They do lose the escape rope, though. Oh, here comes Sableye and Cramorant. Sableye cannot hit either target as long as the Umbrella is out. And we have an oh, there it is. There it is. The Star Requiem's gonna work here. Darn it. Okay. This is bad. This is very bad. At this point, Melanie doesn't matter. So we are going to Roxanne and pray. Okay, this is not a bad spread. Not a bad spread. They are going to hit for a lot on this next turn. But we've got the Hyper Potion play on deck. We can Melanie to try and just draw even more cards to get another Hyper Potion play. So let's see. But Giratina is going to hit incredibly hard nonetheless. Yeah, Lost Impact is still going to do a whopping 200 damage. So can we out-tank this? And let's go and double turbo into the Hyper Potion. Take that out. And we are very much looking for... Oh, yikes. If they get this one set up, we still lose. Rolling Iron. Please, Big Charm. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. Okay. We pray that we can hold on. They have the Mirage Gate. We're going to eat 200 here. And that's game. That sucks. Yeah, that was really unfortunate that we ultimately got brute forced out of that matchup, but I think it is worth sharing that one. And where we ultimately lost was the umbrella and the escape rope there. I think one of the best ways to get around the Big Parasol, if you're playing a deck that gets impacted by that, is escape rope. And unfortunately for us, they had the escape rope ready to go. They took out the other Goodra, and that really messed us up. And even with the last Goodra left, fought valiantly, but they were able to push through and take that win there. GG's. Again, shoutouts to Hale Obernolte for their win at SLC Regionals, putting Goodra on the map finally. I think that Goodra has been kind of getting disrespected this whole time, and I'm glad to see Goodra shine on the big stage because I think it's a really good card. That being said, I'm kind of annoyed that it happened when it did, because this was supposed to be the week of Goodra on the channel, and I pre-made a video for Arceus Goodra. And in light of Goodra like winning the whole thing, I can't put that video out anymore because it's out of date, and I think it would not be valuable to put that video out considering what we know now about the deck and the card. And I don't just think everyone is going to be looking for this version of the deck instead. Uh-oh, are we going to get blue shaked into the trap? I think there's a decent chance that we immediately just lose our abilities here, which is problematic because the whole point of Arceus Goodra is to get Starbirth going. And yeah, Arceus in general, right? You lose Starbirth and the match becomes immediately messy. So let's see how this plays out. We do have Parasols in here to stop the poison, which is great, but what we really need is to stop seeing... Yep, there's the boost shake. Okay. All right. Well, I think there... Yeah, do we Colress or do we Marnie? I feel like we Colress first, because then if the Colress doesn't work, we can Marnie later. Now, the other thing I can do is actually, no, we should boss. That's the play. We boss, we take up a Crobat, and now we pop off. That's the play. And we get Goodra down, and we get a double turbo. We take 2 prizes off the rip, and we play. Now we're playing some Pokemon. Bang. Okay, now I'm happy. Now I can stop complaining. If we can get the Parasol, like a Parasol, we'd be laughing, but we'll see what we can get. So our goal in this next step is, let's see if we can get a second Goodra down. I think we can, and charge that up. And we can use Colress's experiment so we don't have to let go of our cards. And yeah, because if we Marnie, we get rid of some of the stuff that we want, like this Goodra VSTAR. So I think that's an interesting tech. Oh, this is the super annoying Crobat deck. And they're going to Fan of Waves. Ugh. Okay. That changes things a little bit. I think we still go with our play. As annoyed as I am right now about the poison on Goodra, I think we can get rid of an Arceus. We can put down the second Goodra, and we go into Goodra VSTAR, and we Colress's experiment here. What can we grab? We do get a double turbo again. We can also get Gardevoir, and I think we get the... I think we get another double turbo. Yeah. Okay. So that's the play. Right? We go and swing Trinity Nova. We can take out the Wheezing, and we charge up a second Goodra with the last of our energy. And now we're going to be eating a lot of poison damage here. And that sucks, but we do have the Hyper Potion play. And that will nullify at least these first 2 rounds of poison before we get into Goodra stuff. And yeah, if we can get the Parasol, we'll be laughing. But we are up 3 prizes. This is pretty nice. And if we do get an opportunity to swing into Crobat and then boss up Crobat later, that would be ideal. I think this deck only has 2 boss, though, so we've already used 1. And I can't remember. I don't think this deck has Palpad in it, but we'll just roll with it and see what happens. And they are going to boost shake. What are they? Oh, yeah, they're going to boost shake the other Crobat to go into the V Max. That's kind of annoying, but we do have Hyper Potion play here, which does nullify the first 2 poison attempts here. And actually, we're going to Colress again and see. We get the yes. Okay. So I don't know if do we just go into Goodra? I think we go into Goodra and put the... Yeah, we go into Goodra and we put the Parasol on and we just start swinging. I think that's the play. Nullify. I know they don't have any poison stuff anymore, but at this point they are in big trouble. And yeah, they can... Yeah, the stealth poison doesn't... Yeah, they can hit for 70 and... they've got the Tool Jammer. They knew this was coming. They knew this was coming. Okay. But what are they gonna stealth poison into? Right? Do you just go into the other Crobat where I'm gonna hit for 200 and take 80 less damage? Sure. Yeah, it's like 0 and then, yeah, 3 poison. And, yeah, okay. We'll go in and eat it from the Manaphy. I don't know if I want a Marnie here, because then I lose, like, my Hyper Potion plays and stuff. I think we just swing onto... Or we do this, and then we can boss. Yeah, let's play for the other boss in hand. And we don't get it, so that's unfortunate. We do have an Avery for next turn, potentially. Let's go and actually heal. Here, we'll nullify that last turn, and we'll hold on to the Big Charm for now. Get a Water Energy. Okay, that's fine. And we can... I do have some concerns in that they could go... Yeah, at this point, I think they're done. They're going to Tool Jammer away. Like, what are you going to go into? Sure, you can Crushing Hammer me at this point and knock off that water. Thankfully, I have another one in hand. And you're still only doing not a lot of damage. Basically just poison. And there's nothing you can send in. I think we got him. Very annoying deck to go up against. I think getting the boss at the beginning was crucial for us in order to get this party started. Otherwise, we would just ate a bunch of poison and not get set up. But I think this is all but done. Yeah, okay. You stealth poison for 3, and then you roll into a Coughing that I just obliterate. And they're praying that I don't have the thing. We'll go and entertain them just a little bit here. Let's go Melanie, switch. Kind of funny we get both of those on the same turn. Doesn't matter. We just go and attach. And you know what? Let's switch to the fresh Goodra and hit for 200. GG's. Whew. That was a annoying matchup. I hate decks that stop abilities or just like cut you off of like an entire section of your arsenal. And Weezing is one of the most annoying Pokemon in the game. I still think it's not as bad as Vikavolt. Like, item lock just absolutely drives me nuts. Well, but Weezing just doesn't do a lot of damage. Anyhow, both of them are super annoying, and this Crobat Weezing archetype is definitely something that has gotten more popular in recent times, because Weezing counters the Lost Zone, and you can use Crobat to poison, and then you just swap into a Weezing that just keeps your deck locked down. But the being able to use Boss to get Arceus set up early got us set up and allowed us to kind of tank through that situation. So GG's. And that is the Arceus Goodra deck that won Salt Lake City Regionals. Again, congratulations to Hale Obernolte for your amazing performance. I love the innovations you have made to the Arceus Goodra deck. In particular, having 4 Hyper Potions and the 4 Colress was really smart. And one of my criticisms of previous archetypes for Arceus Goodra is that you kind of lose the tankiness from losing Moisture Star, but having the 4 Hyper Potions and the Colress so that you can hold on to those Hyper Potions and the double turbos without having to get rid of stuff with like Marnie or Roxanne or Professor's Research was a real heads up play. Amazing job. Good games. I'm still, look, I've been very clear. I still really like the Lost Zone version. I think it is an amazing way to play, but there are absolutely benefits to the Arc Goodra build as seen in this video. That Arceus Goodra versus Goodra mirror match, I think, really highlighted the tankiness of the Salt Lake City Regionals winning deck. So, which one do you prefer? I still might make a video comparing and contrasting the two. I still think one of the big challenges is that this particular version of the deck does not beat Miltank at all. There's no answer to that, and Hale was obviously fine taking that gamble, and it worked out for him. So, amazing that it worked out there. I think as someone playing on PTCGO, you have to think about, are you willing to automatically lose to Miltank? And I think that's a choice that you'll have to make when you are building this deck. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Before we go, a couple quick plugs. You can find me on all of the things. Why is that button not working? Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at @InThirdPerson. Let's see if this button works. No, it doesn't work. You can also find me on Twitch at @InThirdPerson, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 9 a.m. And before we go, one last time, just wanted to promote the Extra Life Marathon happening on Saturday, November 5th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be playing games for 24 hours straight in support of the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, an absolutely wonderful cause. If you'd like to make a donation, link is right here on the screen or in the description of this video. And if you donate at one of the 3 reward tiers, you will get rewarded with some goodies, including prints of my signed spray paint art, as well as a signed Pokemon card from me. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.